I hate saying it, and I'm a father and I'm a grandfather. I don't envy the children of the future with the type of things that the government are doing now. They're destroying people's future. They're destroying people's choice of ever owning their own home with the structures they're putting in place. Because, again, they won't listen to people on the ground. They seem to be caught in a bubble. So the Rural Independents brought a private member's motion here to Dáil, and it was unopposed by government. They accepted our private member's motion. Basically what it says is, and to simplify it for people, is that at the moment we are being charged for energy in this country at a high tariff of gas prices. Regardless if it's done from wind or solar, we're being charged at gas prices. It's whatever minerals are available at the time to produce energy, the highest one, they're billing it at. So if we simplify this, so if it's costing €100 a kilowatt to have energy by fossil fuel, and if it's €10 by wind, they're charging us €100 for the wind energy, even though it's costing a tenth of the price less. So our PMB yesterday was, we want it decoupled. You can see on your ESB bill at the moment, and everyone has their ESB bill, if you look at it, 64.5% of your energy bill has been brought up by renewables. So why don't they charge us for the renewables at the lower rate and charge us for the fossil fuel energy at the higher rate? That will drop your ESB bill tomorrow morning by 50%. And that means you protect the home, you protect all the businesses, and that means that the €600 that they're giving out, which isn't €600, it's €600 including VAT. So it's 550. All that is doing is driving up inflation, because your butchers and your shops, their energy costs are going up at 500%. So that means the price of your food, your meat, your vegetables, whatever you buy is gone up. So that takes away the €550 that the government have given you, and it's caused inflation. That means your shopping bill is higher, and all they're doing is trying to give you a gift towards it. So if they've done what we do, decouple it, and if it's 64% of your bill is renewable energy, charge you at renewable energy prices. And if it's a fossil fuel, charge you the fossil fuel prices. But at the moment, all bills at the moment are showing 64% are renewable, and we're paying high price of gas for it.
According to the European Commission's figures, Ireland contributes only 0.09% of the world's man-made carbon emissions. So we're literally less than one-tenth of 1%. And yet so many of these policies, which are designed to get that number down even further, are so painful and difficult for ordinary people, and they cause so much hardship in people's businesses. Do you think that a lot of this stuff is kind of futile anyway?
It is futile. If you look at Ireland, we've come through COVID. Then we've had the war in Ukraine, where now we've been asked to help the people of Ukraine, which we've done with open arms. And now the minister is coming down on top of us and saying, right, he wants to be the first country in Europe to have zero emissions. We're at 0.01%. We're one-tenth of 1% of global emissions. It's the same world. But yet we look at Germany, we look at China, what they're doing, opening up coal mines to run coal energy. They're under the same sky that we are. Let's be real. Ireland is a small island surrounded by water. If it comes to a case where we have that Europe decide that we're in trouble and we've no food, the minister has actually stopped food production in this country because he's made it uneconomical for producers to produce food to protect the people of Ireland. So let's get real here. We all want to transition. We're one-tenth of 1% globally in the world emissions. But the minister is using us on a European format, thinking that he wants to be the first person to be zero emissions. Protect the people. Protect people into the future. I hate saying it, and I'm a father and I'm a grandfather. I don't envy the children of the future with the type of things that the government are doing now. They're destroying people's future. They're destroying people's choice of ever owning their own home with the structures they're putting in place. Because, again, they won't listen to people on the ground. They seem to be caught in a bubble of an ideal world. We all want to get to that ideal world, but we know it has to be transitioned. And the major key here is infrastructure around the country allows everyone to live. Infrastructure around the country allows less transport. Infrastructure around this country allows businesses to set up within an area where they can give local employment, where there's less transport. And then the one thing that Minister Ryan has forgotten about, they've overpopulated Dublin. Now people in Dublin, their children or their grandchildren, can't come home, because the infrastructure is not in Dublin, and they've realised that it's not around the country, but now they've destroyed Dublin by overpopulating it, when now they realise by shoving things out into the country and creating businesses and infrastructure in other areas actually supports other areas, and not everyone then has to come to Dublin.